In today's video, we're going to be diving into the upcoming pattern. We do have a flip-floppy kind of roller coaster pattern that is expected ahead with multiple warm-ups and cooldowns in between. This is going to lead towards a lot of intense thunderstorm boundaries, such as the one that we're seeing today across a lot of the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast. We expect a lot more of that type of activity coming up. So we will be going over the upcoming pattern, the severe weather, but not only that, we do have actually some tropics to talk about, as we do have two potential threats out there in the very, very active, unseasonable tropics. So let's just dive into things. I know that was a mouthful. And we're taking a look first off at tomorrow afternoon on Thursday, June 27th. And what we're seeing is plenty of thunderstorms firing up throughout the deeper south and southeast. And I feel like I'm going to be like a broken record for the most part talking about these southeast thunderstorms because they're so prevalent for this time of year. Typically around these areas, we see that the Pacific Northwest in through the four corner states, but not only that, into the central and northern plains as well. We are seeing a lot of thunderstorms throughout these portions of the nation. Now, as we take a look at the Northeast, we also have a weaker low pressure system near here, leading towards some showers and thunderstorms as well. As we keep going, Friday here on June 28th, and again, we have continued thunderstorm activity here throughout the deeper south and throughout the southeast. We also see that there is a stronger low up there for Minnesota, leading towards some thunderstorms and showers throughout the Midwest and some of the Great Lakes as well. And then we're also seeing for the Rockies some more precipitation around. So very active around the nation. Now for Saturday here on June 29th, what we're seeing is plenty of thunderstorms and showers up and down the eastern regions of the United States. And this starts out all the way as far south as Florida. And as we work our way all the way towards the southern end of the Hudson Bay, we are seeing all of these areas dealing with thunderstorms and showers around. Let's keep going towards Sunday time frame as we're kind of closing out the weekend. And as you can see, we have thunderstorms, you guessed it, throughout the southeast and deeper south, obviously. But not only that, we see some for the southern plains also, so it's expanding westward. Continued monsoon type activity out for the four corner states, and also a little bit of more dreary weather continuing onward for the northeast and the northwest actually as well. As we keep going towards Monday on July 1st, so we will be entering into the month of July here, you can see that we have thunderstorms and showers around for the Rocky Mountains here, the northern plains, the deeper south and the southeast there for like the millionth day in a row there. Not literally, but you know, in the summertime, that's going to be an almost daily occurrence. As we move towards Tuesday here on July 2nd, as we're just moving along, we see that the northern Rockies all the way through the northern plains, upper Midwest, and the Great Lakes, we are seeing showers and thunderstorms for all of these areas. And then for the deeper south into the southeast, showers and thunderstorms are around. A little more isolated, I would say, for Tuesday, but still they are there. Wednesday, they're finally kind of dying down, but they're still kind of there in an isolated fashion. We see that there is a more organized area of thunderstorms and showers, and it all comes underneath a very strong low pressure system over top of the Hudson Bay. Not legitimately a cold front the whole way through, but I think that we're seeing some similar dragging effects with a lot of this precipitation. As we reach towards Thursday here on the 4th of July, we do actually have the potential for some thunderstorms in the plains here. It's kind of like the northern deep south as well, I would call it. And then up the Mid-Atlantic and up into the Northeast. So we're going to watch this very closely. Keep in mind, as I know that this is kind of of peak interest for a lot of you, that this will change likely. This is 200 hours out, and I would suspect that we will see some ups and downs. As of now, looking a little bit risky that we might see some events closed down, obviously, for the 4th of July, but only time will truly tell. As we keep going towards Friday on July 5th, we see continued thunderstorms and showers throughout the plains, Midwest, and the Ohio Valley there as well. And finally, we get towards Saturday on the 6th, and we see that there is thunderstorms kind of in a wider area now, starting for the southern plains, some of the deeper south, up through the Ohio Valley, Mid-Atlantic, coastal southeast, and then some of southern New England. And this is actually one of the only frames where we don't have a whole lot of activity in the deeper south areas. Another interesting thing about this frame is look at the Yucatan Peninsula. We have a very strong tropical system located near Cancun, Mexico. I want to backtrack this so I can even see how low that is. I guess that's in the 940s. So take that with a grain of salt at hours 240. That looks like it's a 947 millibar low pressure center, so that would obviously be a hurricane and probably a very strong one. So we're going to take that with a grain of salt, not only because it is absolutely insanely strong, but also this is coming from the Southern Caribbean, an area that is kind of known for iffy conditions for development. If this was, let's say, in the northern Gulf of Mexico, I would think that this was a better chance of happening, or even Mexico here, or better yet, not Mexico, the Bahamas. But near the Yucatan Peninsula, coming off the Southern Caribbean, that's definitely a little bit iffy. We will look at the tropics in just a moment, but let's move towards kind of your, we're going to move past that and just look at the total precipitation here. As we can see, we have plenty of areas of above average activity, starting out with the northern plains, upper Midwest, central plains, lower Midwest, I guess you could call it, Ohio Valley, mid-Atlantic, northeast, southeast, deeper south here. Basically, if you're east of the plains here, in general, you are looking at above average activity. And this has been our talking point for a while now, as these areas were very, very quiet for quite a while. And we've continued to see these models suggesting an uptick, and we're seeing it finally look very, very plausible here, and more near term, I would say. As we take a look at the overall temperature pattern, again, flip-flops on the way as we see a warmer pattern overall in the east, with a cool down rapidly moving in as we approach the weekend. So for Thursday, Friday time frame, with another warm up Saturday, Sunday time frame, another cool down there for Monday and Tuesday. So we're seeing a back and forth rapidly, and that's followed by another warm up there for midweek, followed by another cool down for the early portion of the week after. And then maybe even another warm up on the way here as we approach after the 10th of July. So up and down, you can really get the kind of feel here for the upcoming pattern, and it is all over the place, I have to tell you guys. I mean, I am seeing, upwards of maybe a handful or more of ups and downs in here, which is really, really extreme and should lead towards a lot of activity in between those air masses. Now, for the Storm Prediction Center outlook, here's the day one outlook for Wednesday, June 26th, better yet. And what we're dealing with is a general thunderstorm risk area in the lighter greens here. The darker greens are a level 1 marginal risk area where we expect isolated severe weather to occur. Your 3 yellow areas there are your level 2 slight risk areas where we expect more scattered about thunderstorms to be possible. Let's take it towards day 2, and this is going to be for tomorrow on Thursday, June 27th. And we do see, again, general thunderstorm risk areas all over the place here where we expect general thunderstorms, but anything is possible. The coastal Carolina area is expected to see a level 1 marginal risk, as well as a lot of the Rockies and Plains here. And then for those Rockies and Plains, we do have this yellow region where we do actually have a level 2 slight risk of severe weather in there as well. So a little bit more intense for these areas. And then, as you can see, for Friday, June 28th on day 3, we once again have a general thunderstorm risk area there in the lighter greens. We have a level 1 marginal risk area there in the darker greens, and then we have a level 2 slight risk there in the yellow in the Midwest, where we do have more scattered about severe weather expected. Now, as we take a look at the tropics here, here's the 2-day graphical tropical weather outlook. We do have two potential disturbances. One is located in the Southern Caribbean, where we have a 10% chance of development over the next 2 days. And then one for our main development region, which typically we wait until about August to start seeing systems form in here. But we're seeing one on June 26th here, where we have a 10% chance of development as well over the next 2 days. Now, that might seem like pretty small numbers, but let's take a look real quickly at the 7-day graphical tropical weather outlook and take a look at this. First off, for this one that's moving over the Yucatan Peninsula into the southern Gulf, better yet, we have a 10% over the next 48 hours, but a 20% over the next 7 days. So there's a kind of twice, it's doubling in odds basically in that kind of days 3 through 7, as opposed to the days 1 through 2. But this system back here in the main development region that's expected to move towards the Southern Caribbean starts out at a 10% for the next 48 hours, but a 40% chance over the next 7 days, which is almost a flip of a coin. Certainly looking quite intense there, and we could see some development out of this one. And we've seen so many potential invests coming out of the tropics for the month of June. I cannot stress this enough that this will be likely a historic hurricane season, and we have much reason to think, based on temperatures, the La Nina, and also now the evidence of what we've seen happen in June so far, everything is pointing towards an absolutely terrible hurricane season. With all that being said, we do upload every single day, so be sure to subscribe. You can even hit the bell icon for daily notifications when we upload, so you never miss one. Be sure to like the video if you did enjoy it, leave a comment down below, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next video.